Hey guys, so I just got dropped off by the bus. It's about 7:30 here on this Thursday evening. But I wanted to come on here because, last night everybody was talking about Saraya, formerly known as Paige in WWE, making her all-elite debut for AEW at Grand Slam, last night at Arthur Ashe Stadium. And everybody was excited to see her, and a lot of people, are looking at the fact that, hey, if she's in AEW, maybe this means she's going to wrestle again. And as I said in the first video I talked about, when it came to her debut, I'm hoping she does. I'm hoping she does wrestle again. I really do. Hold on for a second. Like I said, I really do hope she does wrestle again. But what was interesting, though, is one of the people that talked about this, and, was obviously happy for her, but was more, I guess you could say, unapologetic in his opinion when he talked about it, is JD from NY206 of Off the Script. Now, for the second week in a row, he did a solo review of AEW because his co-host and friend is dealing with some personal family issues right now. So, obviously, he won't be back for at least maybe, the rest of the month or something like that. We're not really sure yet, or at least JD isn't. But anyway, JD talked about this, and he brought up something very, very interesting. He brought up the fact that, Tony Khan signing Saraya, the former Paige, to an all-elite contract is great and everything, but did Tony Khan do this for one or two reasons? And one of those two reasons he talked about was, did Tony Khan do this so that they can revamp, the women's division? Did he do it to, revamp it, to help finally give it some recognition and get people talking about it? Or did he do it as a petty move? Yeah, those were, JD's exact words. When he came up with, this particular thought, if you will. Because, like I said, he looked at it in one or two ways. Either Tony Khan signed her because Tony Khan wants to finally, ramp up, revamp, and rebuild, and, get that women's division the recognition it deserves. Or he did it as a petty move. And you might be wondering, in case some of you that don't watch JD from NY206 is Off the Script, you're probably wondering, well, what do you mean by petty move? What does JD mean by petty move? Well, it's real simple. You see, Tony obviously has not been the same. He's not been the same since Triple H pretty much, got into the position of power that he's in right now in WWE, and is making the moves that he's making. So, to JD, if this is indeed a petty move by Tony Khan in signing her, hold on for a sec. Like I said, if this, from what JD is saying, is a petty move by Tony Khan in signing Saraya to a contract before Triple H could potentially, bring her back, with basically no plans to let her wrestle if she can at all, then it just shows that, that Tony Khan obviously is desperate. Tony Khan is desperate to get the attention back on AEW, back on his company and away from WWE. Because, like I said, the way JD sees it is, you know, if he did sign her with the intention of revamping that women's division and finally allowing her to wrestle and go out on her own terms, that's great. That is the boost that they need, and I do agree. It is the boost that the women's division needs. But if that's not the case, and he only signed her because, you know, Triple H might have been, you know, on the verge of doing it himself, and Tony Khan came up with a better offer or something like that to get her to go all elite, then yeah, you know, but, you know, have no intention basically to have her compete, just, you know, have her there in some capacity, you know, then yeah, it is indeed a petty move. You know, it is indeed a petty move, but we're not sure of that yet. Like I said in the other video, you know, it's up to the doctors. You know, it's up to the doctors to say, hey, you're good to go. You know, enjoy, you know, renewing your career, Saraya. And if that's the news she gets, it's the news, and the news eventually we get, that's great. Then Tony Khan would have no excuse not to feature her. You know, he would have no excuse not to feature her. But if that's not the case, and everything, I mean, here's why JD said what he did, in my opinion. Okay? Here's why I think he said what he did. He said it because, again, like I mentioned, we're in a situation now where WWE's got a lot of momentum behind it. Triple H has made it his goal since getting this power, getting this control and this power to, you know, sign, you know, re-sign and sign as much talent as he can to WWE contracts, you know, to help bolster and booster that roster of theirs, both men and women and tag team and such. You know, he's made it pretty much his goal to do that. But so, you know, with that being his goal, you have Tony Khan now kind of in a situation where he has to, you know, compete, you know, for talent that he thought in the past would want to jump immediately into the AEW arms, you know, or into the arms of AEW. You know, he's got to do what he can to, you know, he's got to basically now compete without just waiting for someone to be free so he can call them and say how much you need. Okay, come on in. You know, now he's in that situation that he's never been familiar with. You know, because of the fact that in the past it was Vince that was running things, and nobody, when they got released by WWE, either the contract was up or they were let go because of reasons, wanted to go back because Vince was running things. So they would go to Tony Khan, or they would go to Impact, you know, and Scott D'Amore and Anthem Sports. But, you know, they wouldn't go back to WWE because they didn't like the fact that they were working under a senile old man. But now things have changed. Things have changed to the point to where Tony Khan is now in a competitive bidding war for talent. And, you know, he might have, like I said, got the upper hand here. You know, he may have gotten the upper hand here by signing Saraya to a contract. But, you know, as JD put it, was it because of one of the two reasons? Was it one, to boost to the women's division and finally let Saraya, you know, wrestle, and as I said in the previous video, have, you know, the kind of matches we've been wanting to see, the dream matches we want to see? Or did he sign her out of pettiness? It's like, okay, you debuted her at Grand Slam, what are you going to do with her? It looks like you're teasing something between her and Britt, but is that actually going to lead to anything? And again, it all depends on whether or not she gets cleared by the doctors. And like I said yesterday, they got 3 options. You know, they have 3 options. Legitimately 2, but 3. One of them is she gets cleared and she's good to go. Two, she's not cleared, and her and maybe Tony by extension signed waivers that's taking any responsibility away from AEW and any responsibility, away from the likes of WBD, Warner Bros. Discovery, and putting it into their own hands in case, there's a re-injury or relapse or whatever. They could do that. And the third option, which I'm sure nobody wants to see happen, is, well, if she can't wrestle, she can go back into roles that she had in WWE, and that's being either a manager like she was for Asuka and Kairi Sane, the Kabuki Warriors, or she can go back to being an authority figure like she was on SmackDown. But in this case, she's an authority figure for the women's division. It could be one. It could be that could be a third. Those could be a third option as well. Hold on for a sec. Like I said, those could be a third option. But that third option is one that nobody wants to see. They want to see her wrestle. And the first two options are the best opportunities she would have. But again, even if one of those options, most likely the first option, which a lot of people are hoping for, is the direction they go, is she going to be prominently featured, or did he just bring her on board, add her to the roster, women's roster that is, and, just as a petty move to poke, to point at Triple H and say, ha ha, I got one, I beat you, I beat you, I beat you again in one, I beat you, checkmate, checkmate. Is that what it is from what JD is looking at as one of the possibilities? We don't know. We don't know. I mean, one thing that Pro Wrestling Unlimited reported in a video that they put up today, and they entitled, Will Saraya be able to wrestle? Or will Saraya wrestle in AEW? They brought up the fact that even though she's on the roster page, so is Stokely Hathaway, the former Malcolm Bivens in NXT. And he's not wrestling, he's a manager. Unless he has to. Unless he has to be in the ring and all that. He's a manager. That's his primary thing. So unless you're a commentator or a backstage official or whatever, and you're mostly an on-screen presence, you're going to be put under the roster page along with the wrestlers, even if you don't wrestle. And Saraya is in a situation right now to where that could be pretty much, said for her. Like, if, she's under the roster, which makes it look like she will wrestle, but, it doesn't mean she will. It could mean, again, those third options that third option nobody wants to see. So the question is JD right? Was this either A, the shot that Tony Khan knows the women's division needed, the boost it needed, and thus, we're going to get Saraya wrestling, or did Tony Khan sign Saraya, the former Paige, just as a petty move, a checkmate move against Triple H, because, he's in a situation now where he's competing not just for fans, but he's competing, for dominance. He's competing for recognition. What are your thoughts? Let me know down below in the comments, as well as in the live chat during the premiere. Which option do you think it was, or do you think it is? Do you think it's option A or B? Let me know down below in the comments, as well as in the live chat during the premiere. Like the video, guys. I am home now. But again, let me know what your thoughts are. Do you think JD has a point? And what are your thoughts on whether or not it could be the latter? Do you think that makes Tony Khan look good? Let me know down below in the comments. And until next time, I am out.